morning everybody. Hope you are fine and safe at home. Today we are going to see subject social. Already we have learnt in lesson 1 early human beings. What we have learnt in early human beings, first we are going to recall all those things that we have learnt in lesson 1 and then we will move to the lesson 2. Okay, what we have learnt in lesson 1 early human beings children? Early human beings we call hominids, right? Early human beings we call hominids. They lived in caves, so they were called cavemen. And they learned about their food, clothing. What about their food? They are called hunter-gatherers. Why they were called hunter-gatherers? They hunted and ate small animals. And also they gathered the food from forests such as fruits, nuts, berries that we have already learned in the chapter 1 itself. And then we saw about their clothing and their language, communication and their tools. How they discovered the fire and they invented the wheel and about their farming and other occupation. Also, we have learned in chapter 1 early human beings. Okay. Today we are going to see about lesson 2, the story of Mesopotamia. What we are going to see in the lesson 2 children? The story of Mesopotamia. What it is? Mesopotamia. Okay, shall we start with the introduction of Mesopotamia children? Okay, shall we see what is the spelling of Mesopotamia children? Shall we start with reading? M-E-S-O-P-O-T-A-M-I-A. Mesopotamia. First, we will start to read the lesson first and then we will see the explanation part. Okay? Shall we start to read? As we saw in the previous chapter, early human beings were initially hunter-gatherers and they moved from place to place in search of food. Slowly they began forming and settling down near rivers, which provided water for their crops. People started to live in groups near river banks. Such organized settlements are called civilizations. One of the most ancient ones was the famous Mesopotamian civilization. What it is? Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, what we saw in here? See, as we saw in the previous chapter. We saw in the previous chapter, right? I already said you that early human beings were initially hunter-gatherers. I said you about hunter-gatherers, right? They hunted and ate small animals and also they gathered the food from the forest such as fruits, nuts, berries. Already we saw, right? So early human beings were hunter-gatherers and they moved from place to place. For what they moved from place to place? They moved from place to place in search of food. For what they moved children? Early human beings moved from place to place in search of food. They hunted and ate animals also. So they were called hunter-gatherers. Is it clear children? Early human beings were hunter-gatherers and they moved water from river. And then people started to live in groups near river bank. So for providing the crops, they started to live in groups near river banks. Such organized settlements are called civilizations. Such settlements are called what we call civilization. This much we saw about early human beings. They were hunter-gatherers and they searched food by moving one place to another, and they settled down near rivers. Okay, and this settlement are called civilization. One of the most ancient ones, which means earliest ones, was the famous Mesopotamian civilization. Here we are going to talk about the story of Mesopotamia. Okay, children? What is the meaning of civilization, children? See, civilization, an organized human society which has its own language and culture. So, Mesopotamia also have a human society which has its own language and culture. Then we will move to the next topic, geographical extent. What it is? Geographical extent. Shall we start to read first, children? Mesopotamia lay between the two rivers, the Euphrates and the Tigris. In Greek, the meaning of Mesopotamia is the land between the rivers. What is the meaning of Mesopotamia in Greek? The land between the rivers. The rivers made the land very fertile, which means producing or capable of producing abundant vegetation or crops. Shall we see what it is? Mesopotamia lay between the two rivers. So it is situated between the two rivers. What is the name of two rivers, children? The Euphrates and the Tigris. Meaning of the two rivers, name of the two rivers is Euphrates and the Tigris. In Greek, what it is? Greek, it is one of the language. Greek is one of the language. The meaning of Mesopotamia in Greek language, what they are saying is, in Greek language, what is the meaning of Mesopotamia? The meaning of Mesopotamia is the land between the rivers. It is situated between the rivers. So, in Greek language, meaning of Mesopotamia is the land between the two rivers. The rivers made the land very fertile. They are situated near the rivers, no? So, the rivers made the land fertile. The fertile here means producing or capable of producing abundant vegetation or crops. So, they are situated near the two rivers. The name of the two rivers is Euphrates and the Tigris. Next, we will move to the next topic, timeline. What it is? Timeline. Shall we start to read, children? Many kingdoms flourish. What it is? Flourish. Many kingdoms flourish in this region. The Sumerians, what it is? Sumerians were L-O-P. Many kingdoms developed in this region. Which region? Mesopotamian region. Many kingdoms flourished in this region. The Sumerian. What it is? Sumerian were the first people. Sumerians were the first people to settle down in this land around 4000 BCE, before Christ. Okay, so they were settled before 4000 year itself. Who? Name called Sumerians. What it is, children? Sumerians. Okay, we have learned in lesson 2 the story of Mesopotamia, a starting introduction about Mesopotamia, geographical extent and timeline. First we saw about early human beings, that they were settled near the river and they were called hunter-gatherers. Why they hunter-gatherers, children? Because they moved from one place to another place in search of food and they settled near the rivers. So they provided for the water for the crops. And then this organized settlement are called civilizations, right? So this ancient ones were called the famous Mesopotamian civilization. When we talk about the geographical extent, Mesopotamia, that lay between the two rivers. The name of the rivers called Euphrates and the Tigris. In Greek language, we saw that Mesopotamia is the land between the rivers. Mesopotamia is the land between the rivers. And if we move to the timeline, we saw about the first people to settle down in this land called Sumerians. Okay, children, this is your just introduction topics about the 3 topics in lesson number 2. When we move into the assignment, you are going to write keywords in your class note. Take a new page, children. You have to write lesson number 2, the story of Mesopotamia as a heading, and have to put first long letter as a keyword. I have given 10 keywords as a PDF which is attached in this file.